Diamond in the rough here with a pre-holiday anticipation, get ready suggestion on how you can make your holiday preparations easier. Now, we do know in the midst of this trauma, organized or rather orchestrated by the current administration illegally in terms of SNAP benefits being temporarily halted or suspended, I would ask you to go to the Center on Budget Policy Priorities website. They give a full breakdown as to the SNAP benefits and the use of contingency funds that this country has in the tune of $5 to $6 billion specifically to continue not only regular SNAP benefits, but disaster SNAP benefits. So, with that, I think that what we need to do in the interim and even moving forward, we must be ready to have as an efficient and frugal and nutritious and satisfying holiday meal sessions from this point forward. Now, on my sort counter, and you know my kitchen is very small, only 120 linear inches. I'm going to try to give a rundown on how you can make your food and work more nutritious and more delicious tasting. I'm all into flavor bombs. First, on my saucer here, you'll see, and I'll try to zoom in to where I can get it. Let me go back because I did it wrong. Let me zoom out. I have on my plate here roux. What is roux? Roux is a combination of a flour and a fat of your choice. It can be oil, it can be butter, it can be tallow, it can be lard. But what it does is provide you a way to thicken your gravies, your sauces, your meals where it might be a little bit soupy. Say you put too much broth in and you need to thicken it up. A roux moves through several colors that you can see, from blonde all the way to dark and even darker. If you're doing a gumbo, you're more on this side of the line. If you're doing a white sauce or a Mornay or bechamel, you're on this side of the line. If you don't know what a Mornay or bechamel sauce is, it's one of the 5 mother sauces. You can Google. Miss Google knows everything. She'll tell you all about it. What this is reminding me in terms of my little piece of leaf here is that this is the color I like to take mine to. The darker a roux will get, the lessening, thickening power it will have, and the more of the roux you will have to use. So for me, in my household and my kitchen, I like to keep my roux on this side of the ledger so that if I need to darken it, I can. I can also add this to any dish that I need to thicken up. And I will say that the difference between a cake goop, those of us who are bakers, we know what cake goop is. It's a release agent for our cakes. A difference between a cake goop and a roux is cooked, whereas a cake goop is not. But at any rate, same thing, flour and oil of your choice, usually a neutral oil because you don't want it to conflict with what you're cooking with. But this is, again, the stages of a roux. Use these. You can store this once it's cooled in your refrigerator and it will keep. So that's our roux. On a table that you see next, or rather next, are my different kind of bouillons and flavor things I like to use. I made chow chow this weekend, and my leftover vegetable peelings, my end cuts, my pieces of onion, my green pepper, my celery, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of shallots. I save them and I make a vegetable broth. Now, it does take time. You could make a vegetable broth or use those scrap leavings of vegetables, add it to your meat base of choice, bones, pieces of cut ups from chicken that you've cleaned, fat if you want, and make it a chicken, a beef, or a pork based. They all taste better roasted in the oven a little bit than used in your broth preparations. If you don't have time for that, I have some suggestions on the table. First, my bestest favorite is Better Than Bouillon. This stuff is liquid gold. This is a vegetarian base. It also comes in a meat base. You can get it in turkey, you can get it in chicken, you can get it in roast chicken, you can get it in beef, you can get it in ham. They even have a line for Mexican based flavor stocks, and they help get your stock game on point. Again, stock that you can use for quick gravy using a vegetable broth, or a chicken based or protein based stock that you can add and make a gravy too. Now you'll notice also on my table, I like to not use or waste anything. Mushrooms that I didn't really kind of care for to cook and eat, I put them in my oven, dried them till they're crispy, crispy, crunchy, crunched them down, and I have mushroom powder. This one is my super greens, what's left of my carrots, my celery, the tips of vegetables, my cabbage bits, softer bits of the leafy part of vegetables that you don't want to waste or I forgot to put in a base. You can dry these in your oven at 170. Crush it up, use it to add to your soups, stews, chilies, spaghetti sauce, things of that sort. And you want it to where it's moving like this. If it's not moving, then it's not dry enough. It has to be crispy, crispy, dry. I love my Latina and Asian community because that's where you can also get flavor bombs. This is fried garlic. You can get it at most of your Asian stores in our city. Shop them, make friends with the people who run these stores. They will help you and tell you everything. Well, you don't have time to do a broth per se, I also like using a prepared stuff. I like Goya Saison. It tells you everything. You can add a Latina profile, a Mexican profile, a Central American profile to your cooking and eating. You can also use the end cuts of your celery leaves. These are the tops of our celery. Chinese celery is also good for that, of which that's what this is. The leaves from Chinese celery. Stronger celery payoff without the pieces of celery in your dish. You can also put these in a muslin bag of some type and put it in your broth and then pull it all out. Or you can chop it fine and add it to your vegetable. I will tell you though, Chinese celery takes a little bit longer to cook. You might have to cook it off first before you add it to your broth preparations. So that's it for Diamond in the Rough here. Ready to get ready for these holidays situations. And I will say, in this time of shortages and this time of limited resources, go in with a friend. If you can't afford a 10-pound bag of potatoes, split it. You don't want a full 3 or 4 pound bag of red or yellow onions, split it with your friend. Go to the store in groups. Conserve, participate, share, cross share. You can't afford 4 pounds of butter and that's what the packet is, split it up to where you both get 2 pounds for both households. This is a time for us to work collaboratively to make it do what it needs to do. So again, Diamond in the Rough, use your Roux. Your friends will think you fancy schmancy for it, but that means you'll be ready in a heartbeat with either a broth that's ready for a preparation and or a gravy and or adding it to your cooking and stews just on the regular. The more we eat, the better we eat in a nutritious fashion, the more healthy we will be and the more money that's going to be in our pocket, because these are just literally in cuts and cuts off of pieces, parts of vegetables. But again, this bottle here was only $5.58. Not a lot for a full thing of garlic that sits in your refrigerator at the ready. Add it to a spaghetti sauce, add it to your jollof rice, add it to whatever you need. Again, collaboration is the key if we want to be healthy, wealthy, and more wise. See you in a minute with the next video. Food preparation is next. I have apples to do. Gotta go. Bye.